So if you're looking to get this short graduated bob, then obviously stick along, watch the video, and I will show you step by step of how to create this look. So this is the before look. It's kind of like a grown out bob. Give the client a quick shampoo and we're going to section the hair. Now my client has actually got a very low nape line. She is in previous videos of mine as well. And we choose to go shorter than the actual nape so we can shave the hair at the back. It is something to ask the clients because I do say to her, you know, can somebody shave it for you at home, because the hair on the neck will start to grow and be visible before her next visit. So I've just taken a quick guideline at the bottom, and now I'm taking the centre section there and I'm cutting into the palm of my hand, and you are creating an angle so it is longer at the top of my fingers compared to at the nape of the neck. So it should be quite close to the head with your hand, and then gradually pulling out as we go up. So you can see that the fingers are pointing more towards, say, me than actually the ceiling. And that will give it that short graduated look. Now quite a lot is coming off the back here. My client just wants a nice easy hairdo where she can just wash it, give it a little bit of a style and go. When it grows out a little bit too much, then it starts to flick, as you could see at the beginning of the video. So I've done the left hand side. I'm just going to go in and copy what I did on the left. I'm going to then do it on the right hand side as well. So you're taking vertical sections there, pulling it out 90 degrees, but then angling your fingers more at 45 degrees so that you're getting it shorter at the nape and longer on top. So these bits here, yet again, pulling out 90 degrees to the head and taking it in quite short. Check your balance, left and right. Now I'm just going to cross-check the hair, pulling it out 90 degrees on the top level, making sure that it's all okay. So I'll start in the middle and then I will do the left side, then the right side, just making sure there's no little overhangs, because that there will be my guideline for when we go up the head. So that top section there, I don't really want to change. Now you could leave it like that if you want to. I decided to go in and go a little bit shorter at the nape. You could also use your clippers and you could go in with, say, a number 3 to that point as well. But I'm just going to do a little bit of scissor over comb. See how it lays. Every client is slightly different. So what you think you might do in your head, actually you change halfway round, because it's not going to work, which is perfectly fine. So I'm going to go in with my clippers now and just take off the neck hair. Like I say, she's got a very low nape area here. You could go in and make it quite a feature. You could do the curved angle on that if you want and turn it into like a little point in the middle, which is a bit more, say, stylish. More suitable for the younger clientele than the older clientele. So I'm just cross-checking here, making sure that my graduation is quite nice. Like I say, you can go in as short as what you want at the bottom. And I'm just going to go in with a bit of thinning scissors now, just to get rid of any bulk. You don't normally thin with wet hair because it does tend to take off more hair, but that's not a problem with this client because she has got an awful lot of hair. to remove the bulk, and it's not sopping wet anyway. So the same kind of action as scissor over comb, but we're going in. Right, so just dusting off, getting ready for the next step. So the next step, we're actually going to go up the head and start bringing the hair down from outside. So I'm going to take a section on my left and a section on my right. Don't take your section too thick, but obviously not too thin as well. Now you could go up the head and make the angle a little bit more. I'm just going to meet the guideline, which is the last bit that I cut. So it's just going to sit nicely on the occipital bone there. So I'm pulling it out with a slight angle as I pull out. So it's not close to the head. I'm literally pulling the hair out, which is still layering the hair because you've got an angle on it. So I've got to remember as well that by the ears, we want it longer at the sides than what we do in the middle. So don't start cutting it all the same length. You've got to kind of cut it in that upside down V shape. Once you've done that section, cross check it, make sure it's okay, balance check it. We're going to do the same again. So I'm going to pull this out slightly longer this time. So as we go up the head, it'll be slightly longer in length, but still pulling it away from the head. You can see from the underneath, it's really kind of like at 90 degrees being pulled out. Maybe a bit lower than 90 degrees actually. But just bear in mind, it's got to be longer at the sides, so you're kind of cutting slightly down. Put that angle in your fingers. There you go. You could see my wrist slightly turn there, just to make it that little bit longer. Okay, so I've balance checked it. Now I'm just going to go up the head. Oh, what am I doing? I'm going in with my thinning scissors now, just so it's not so bulky. And this will stop it, when you blow drying it, will stop it kind of sitting so heavy around the bottom. And my client has got an awful lot of hair. This might not be needed if your client has fine hair. And it just kind of blends it in a bit more. So now we're going to go up the head. I think I'm just sweeping at the moment, get rid of most of the bulk that's on the floor. Now we're going to go up the head, and this is the last bit now. So we've got to make sure that this bit is perfect because it's going to be sitting on top. So you need to make sure that It's just that little bit longer, so it sits around the graduation there. Still remembering that you've got to take it longer at the sides, pulling it all back. So just making sure that the whole back section is cut there. Balance check it, make sure it's the same left and right. Always go in and amend it, little bits at a time. You can't stick it back on. I wouldn't say you'd want to go shorter than that at the back. So the client does want this angle going down where it's longer at the front. So I'm just going to get rid of most of the bulk on top, and let's work on the underneath first. Now I've got a line here from the back. Just going to make sure that's okay, and I'm going to match everything at the front up to that by twisting it round. So making it that little bit longer. So pull it down, twist it, and then just see how it sits. If you need to cut more off, then do so. Once you've got that sorted at the front, then you can bring the rest of the top bit down to match it. So we know it's going to bounce up a little bit once you dry the hair. So here we go, we're going on the next section now. Follow the guideline that you've just done. Twist it round, make it longer. And then the last section you'll bring down to match. Now my client has a side parting, so obviously this side will have more hair on than the other side. Sometimes they do end up a little bit longer as well with a side parting, but you've just got to make sure that there's no overhang. And it's not too long, this side. So what we did on one side, we're then going to go round and copy it for the other side and just make sure it is identical. So we're starting the opposite side now. You've got your guideline, pulling it right back and cutting down. Once you've matched it up to the other side as well, bring some more hair down. And match it up to the back as well. So bringing that front section right the way back. If I brought that down towards her chin, you'd find that the angle wouldn't be as steep. So it's entirely up to you how long you want that front bit to be. So that's kind of the basic shape now at the bottom. I'm just going to finish off the top section, just so that, I mean, it's not a photo what she has on her head, it's something she's going to play around with, so I just want to make sure that if ever she puts her hair behind her ears, that there's no overhang, and every single strand has been cut, so it should sit nicely behind the ears as well. So I'm going to just put the hair behind the ears, making sure that there's no little bits there. I do the same the other side. Also, if she doesn't get her part in exactly how I've cut it today, you know, just check and make sure that it's the same no matter what way the client wants it done, even though it is going to be slightly longer one side. Now I'm just going to go in and just point cut through the top, just make it that little bit lighter. And then bringing it all the way back from the forehead, just in case she changes her parting or maybe wants to tie it up, that there's no little bits which looks silly. Just take off any little loose bits. Right, so we are ready to start blow drying. The haircut is completely done. Might want to touch it up at the end, but here is the product that I'm using. Just a perfect setting lotion. I do like that spray. Just spray it in all over quite generously. The bottom bit is quite short, isn't it? So we don't need to put a round brush in or any brush in at the bottom. You can kind of finger dry the underneath. And then I tend to like using a round brush, not too big because it is still quite short, the hair. So like a medium-sized round brush, just to give it some lift and a bit of curl. You can go in after with the straightening irons, or you can go in and tong a little bit. Whatever you want to do at the end, it's entirely up to you. But just make sure that it's perfect before tonging it, because it's hard to change when the curl's in there, because you can't see what's wrong. So rough dry off first of all, and then section into your blow dry. So I've done 3 kind of sectionings or 3 section clips on top, just to make it easier for me when blow drying. Always get the root lift in. That's why people go to the hairdressers, to get that root lift in at the roots, make it nice and round. And this should be nice and easy for the client to maintain as well at home. So we'll do the back sections and then onto the side, however you want to do it, but always start off at the bottom and work your way up. As you can see, it's sitting kind of nice now. You can kind of see the shape taking place. And it's easy to drop down those section clips because I sectioned them earlier before. Going through the back section now, still giving it a nice big root lift up. Yeah, my client's got kind of a little bit of fluffy hair at the front, so I don't want to over straighten it, but I am going to go in with the straightening irons afterwards just to smooth it down and get rid of that little kink there. She's really curly around the face, which she hasn't got anywhere else, and it's the kind of area that you do see, so you do want to have it straighter and smoother. So just going through the centre parting, well, side parting section now, getting as much root lift in there as we can. So it's smoothing it all down, making sure it's all completely dry. It's got a nice angle on it. And just going over it gently now with the hairdryer before going over it with the straighteners. So just lightly section the hair. I was just waiting for the irons to warm up. Obviously I don't need to straighten it too much because the hair is already straight, but you just want to gloss over it and just check your temperature's not too high as well, especially if you've done most of the work with the hairdryer. You shouldn't be over drying the client's hair out again with straightening irons. So So just lightly gloss over it, give it a little bend at the end just to highlight the curl, and so it does sit underneath. What we do to the right hand side, we'll do to the left hand side. Finish off with a bit of products. I think I just put on the Olaplex oil just to smooth it down a bit. You can add hairspray as well. So like I said, I just added a little bit of Olaplex oil on the ends just to smooth it down. Time to just check the haircut, make sure there's no little loose bits. Texturize any bits. This is really where you just double check and make sure it's perfect before going on. So I like to just point cut in a little bit. Check the balance and make sure your client's happy as well. You could have a fantastic haircut, you could absolutely love it, but the client might not. So just going a little bit over with the clippers again, just to make sure there's no loose bits or longer bits. So this is the Olaplex oil that I'm putting in. I think it's number 6 or number 7, the little oil, just to smooth it down, nothing too heavy. You could have hairspray on there. That's it, a little dust off, make sure there's no loose hairs, and then the client's good to go. I hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial or step-by-step of how to create the look. Please like and subscribe because I try and do some more videos for you as well.